Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on a video of mine. It means a lot that you guys keep clicking, and I will keep making if you keep clicking. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing. All of it's great. Keep it going. And if that's it, let's continue. Today we're going to talk about, because yesterday I talked about five things that I have wrong with New School. And the first thing that popped into my head was Winners at War. And in the Winners at War premiere, I remember when Adam and Denise walked off to the well, and everyone was like, rookie mistake, rookie mistake. Um, and for that reason, today we are going to talk about five rookie mistakes that you should never make on Survivor, or five rookie mistakes that you should avoid at all costs, or whatever I'm going to title this when I go edit it on YouTube. But five rookie mistakes that people make that are very stupid and or that you should avoid if you ever get on the show. So let's get into it. First one, very obvious, the one that inspired this video, going off and to just self isolating early on, whether that's going to the well like Adam and Denise did, whether that's doing what Wendy, Keith, and Reem did in the premiere of Edge of Extinction, where they just kind of went off to the ocean and kind of just stayed on the ocean the entire time. And didn't really talk to people. Were like just leaving a big group of people like behind. If that bigger group of people is a majority, they can just make a majority right there. I mean, it's very, very simple. So do not isolate yourself, whether that's for short periods of time or very long periods of time. Moving on. Number two, I'm gonna say it right here. You do not need to be looking for the idol in the first like 3 days. It's not good. Um, just until you win that first immunity challenge, you're looking for the idols an easy way to immediately get a target on your back where you're either going to be targeted for the first or second boot. It's not a good idea. It is a good idea if you win the first immunity challenge to start looking on day one or two, but you don't know that you're going to win that. So the last thing that you want to do, basically the worst case scenario, is to look on day one or two, put a huge target on your back, and then lose the immunity challenge and go home. You do if you cannot make it out of the first vote, with your social politics, looking for an idol was only going to save you one tribal. Idol looking is not for day one, for day two, even really for day three. To be honest, maybe day three if you're in a lot of trouble. Idol looking is when you're is for after that, because early on people, especially in New School, are just looking for anything, and so looking for an idol is like a big thing. Like Adam and Denise going after the well is like whatever, they're going to the well. Looking for an idol is a whole different deal. So do not go look for an idol on episode one, or at least not on day one or two, or I guess in this new cycle on day one. Okay, this next one isn't so much for New School, but I have to say it because it is such a popular one, and I have to agree. Making yourself the leader is not the way to go. The last time it worked was in Samoa, and even then he got medevac, but it would have worked if he hadn't got medevac. He would have got to the merge and actually done pretty well. But yeah, leader spot is not the spot, or especially early on. Maybe late pre-merge if you want to take a leadership role like on your swap tribe, because you like need your swap tribe to keep the numbers because you guys want to be in alliance, like a Tony did kind of. But like you do not want to be leader early on. I mean, I feel like this one doesn't need a lot of explaining. It's a pretty simple idea that being the leader puts a gigantic target on your back, and you do not want a gigantic target on your back. It's very rare, especially in New School, that it works. But even in Old School, go ask Hunter, how that worked out for him. He was the third or fourth boot on Marquesas. Go ask Jolanda how it worked out for her. She was the first boot on Palau. I guess really third boot, but first boot really. Being leader didn't work in middle school. It really didn't work towards the back end or the game body end of Old School, and it definitely is not going to work in New School. All right, another thing. This is going to be number four on this list. We do not want to be bringing up any names first in that first cycle, wherever it is. I mean, now it's a two-day cycles for 41, 42, but usually it's 3 day cycles. So for the first, usually for the first 3 days, you do not you want to try not to bring up names first, if unless you very really 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 have to, because when you bring up names first, if it were to bounce back on your group, it's going to bounce back on you because you brought up the name. And so you need to make sure that you're either talking to people that are talking to people that you really, really, really trust, or not bringing up names first, because early on when you bring up names, it's a really easy way to just kind of take on a bounce back role. If someone were to blindside the opposition, I'm using air quotes, you are air quote the opposite, the opposition. So I feel like when you bring up names, you're really putting your neck out there, and that's not something that they want to do in that first cycle or really later on. And by the way, this list is for pre-merge only. If you want me to do a post-merge one, I will do a post-merge one after. In fact, I'll probably film that right now. And so that we'll have a pre-merge one and then a post-merge. So tell me if you like the idea. And number 5, we have do not be too much of a unique personality. Do not be a Zane. Do not be a Zane. Do not be a Jacob. Trying to lay off the super nerdy Survivor fan, whatever your super unique personality. Reem, super unique, like no nonsense. Like try and keep Jolanda very strong, unique personality. If you have a unique personality that's different than your counterparts, or even the same, but if it's too extreme, tone it down. If that's nerdiness, tone it down. Don't talk about Survivor as much. If it's assertiveness, try and be a little bit more passive. I have that issue in my life all the time. So yeah, just try to mitigate your weirdness and your uniqueness, because anything that makes you stick out like as a person can make you stick out as a player, and that's not what you want. You want to stick in, you want to blend in, you don't want to stick out. And so these are my 5 tips for pre-merge players. Sorry, 5 rookie mistakes that pre-merge boots make. And so next will be 5 rookie mistakes that post merge boots make. Let's get this video to a good amount of likes. I'm so excited to make content for you guys. I'm hyped, guys. I'm really happy that you guys like the female players, the from all 40 seasons. That was a really long record, but you guys obviously liked it. Give me suggestions for videos down in the comments. It means a lot of you guys are watching. 81% of you guys who are watching this video aren't subscribed. Let's change that to easy and it's free. And if that's it,